You heard? Shout out to the Reach Overculture podcast, man. We bike. Peace and love and blessings to those. I am ROC, Moses Chavez, Babyface Killer, OG, Triple OG, Robert Burrell. And thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, man, shout out to you. You heard? If you're a returning listener, shout out to you. If you subscribe to all of us if you subscribe to us on all the streaming platforms, shout out to you. If you subscribed on YouTube, shout out to you. If you're not subscribed to anything.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You heard me? But yes, man, appreciate you. Peace and blessings to you for tuning in. The best and cheapest way that you can support is make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTubes. And if you don't subscribe to us on the YouTubes, make sure you subscribe to us on wherever you stream your platform or stream your podcast at. Downloads do matter. So whether you get it on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, we on every podcast platform that you could think of. And so the best way, cheapest way, and most meaningful way that you can support us at this moment in time is make sure you go to subscribe on one of those platforms. Shoot us a download, shoot us a like, shoot us a rating, shoot us a review. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, dislike it. It all counts. It's all good. It's all good money. Fellas, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
I'm doing good.
Feeling good.
Okay, so last episode, we're going to jump right into it. Last episode, because as you can notice, like, we all wearing the same. You know what? Forget you, dog. You, dog. You heard? This is a back-to-back. Like,
For y'all.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. And so we did the last episode on the concept of family and how, you know, we see family and how we might put our church family on a pedestal. But this is a continuation of that past episode. Now we're going to get into friends. How many of us have them? Ones we can depend on. Friends. You know, because you got family. We established that. But then you got the friend aspect of it. Okay? So we're going to jump right into that. But first, we got to do the questions that need answering. Question that needs answering for this one. Who are two individuals, dead or alive, you want to go to dinner with?
I would go with Mark Cuban and Darius Daniels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark Cuban's like one of kind of those entrepreneurs I look up to. Okay. And I think Darius Daniels is probably like most of the wisest person I know. I feel like he's just super smart in the word and
Jersey.
Just the way he teaches. I feel like that setting would just be a bunch of wisdom.
Okay, I like that. Rob, you got two people in mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go one religion based and one not.
Mm.
So religion based, I'm gonna go Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's just a goat. I mean, he's wrote so much of the Bible, and he's literally like so much wisdom. Just so like religion aspect or just faith based aspect, I'm gonna go with Paul, and then I'm gonna go Clarence Avant as my second. And I've been on the Clarence Avant hype recently. I was gonna say Malcolm X, but I feel like Clarence Avant could give me what Malcolm X could, plus a little more. But Clarence Avant, if you don't know history on him, just go look him up, man. He's done so much in the world, just in general, and I feel like he knows people through and through.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I would definitely go those two. I feel like I get a lot of wisdom and knowledge and just people skills and business knowledge and all that stuff from both of those guys.
Well, let me piggyback off of Clarence Avant. If you haven't, The Black Godfather on Netflix is a documentary about Clarence Avant, and Rob is spot on point. This guy growing up in the early just 1900s in general,
Yeah.
Jim Crow era. He's from South Carolina, right? Oh, North Carolina. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's from Climax, North Carolina.
Climax.
To be exact. It's a wild name.
It's a wild name. Yeah, he's from North Carolina, and this guy didn't even finish elementary school, but worked his way up through the music industry and entertainment industry. And they call him the Black Godfather because he wasn't a mainstream guy. He wasn't just somebody that you seen on the television a lot, but anybody who was anybody knew who this guy was, and he is responsible for some of the most important artists to date's careers. Rest in peace to Bill Withers. He founded Bill Withers.
Yeah.
You know, he was there for Mike. He was there, you know, for Quincy Jones. Him and Quincy Jones are close friends. So this guy is influential, and it's crazy because when me and Pastor Tim Ross met, that was the first point of reference that we made a connection with, because the second thing that he said was, "Yo, have you seen The Black Godfather?" I was like, "Yeah, I watched it." He was like, "That's what I'm basing my ministry around from now on. It's not being in front; it's being behind the scenes."
Yeah.
He said, "My power comes from being in the green room and making connections. I don't need the credit, but that's what, like," he's like, "Once I saw that, I realized that's my role. That's what I'm supposed to be doing." And then shortly as I was, you know, attending to him during the V1 conference, just to see him do exactly that.
Yeah.
Like he in the green room, he greeting everybody, and he's in every conversation without having to be the front of the conversation. And you know, if you don't know about Pastor Tim Ross, he's the pastor of Emerson City Church, an amazing church out in Dallas,
Amazing church.
or more specifically Irving, Texas. So shout out to Pastor Tim Ross. But yeah, that was our first point of connection, because he just identified with a Clarence Avant. But go watch The Black Godfather on Netflix, man. If you want to just see some stuff you ain't seen, I mean, just the amount of stuff.
Yeah.
It was like him in the Quincy Jones documentary blew my mind, bro, because I didn't know Quincy was behind the James Bond theme song, the Austin Powers theme song.
Bro, it's wild. And even if it's like, it's not just black people, like Bill Clinton, like he has ties to some of the Pepsi CEOs, Coca-Cola, the Yankees, Browns. Like he has ties to people in general, not black, not white, not Indian, like people. So he got
Jim Brown in the movies.
He got Jim Brown. Yes, the Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns, like in movies, and so many. But I can go on and on.
Yeah,
but
bro.
If you want something that's going people for sure,
that's a good one. Bro. I like that one. Two individuals that I would want to go to dinner with, dead or alive. One, rest in peace, rest in power to Muhammad Ali. I want to go to dinner with Muhammad Ali because he has wisdom, but because I enjoy a good trash talker. Like, and nobody can do it like Muhammad Ali. But it was wisdom amongst his trash talk. And what I would find with people that was close to him at that time is, when he was on, when the camera was on, Ali got to be Ali.
Yeah.
You know, but when the cameras are off, he still has those moments. But his way of thinking is way more profound than what he let off.
Yeah.
And you would never know that if you weren't in the room with him or at dinner with him. Like his ideals on family and just race, culture, and how hard he went for wanting to see the advancement of black people was more than what people would know. We all know him for the trials that he went through in the public eye, but just even how that affected him, even getting suspended from the Nation of Islam, like to see how he handled all of that and how he carried himself through those times would amaze you more than anything. And I mean, even the fact that he walked in circles with Malcolm X and Jim Brown and some of the most influential black leaders, you know, known to date. And he's one of my goats of athletes in general because of what he stood for and what he was willing to go through. This ain't cap. No pun intended. This man was almost broke because he said, "I'd rather go to jail than to be in the army." you know, when people make the distinction between him and Cap, I just don't see it. Because Cap tried to get back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Ali was like, I'd rather not fight again and be able to walk in my neighborhood and be respected in my neighborhood for not selling out versus taking another boxing match.
Yeah.
That's different. I mean, the man, he was like, I'll go do a paper route, I'll go make money another way, but you're not going to get me to conform to what you want me to do and using my profession as a tool, you know, to get me to go from one way to the other. So shout out to Ali. I will go to dinner with Ali. And this next one isn't politically correct, but I might get in trouble for this. Rob has a family. I understand. You know, Moses got potential. I understand. I'm in a relationship, so I might get in trouble for this.
I don't know who it is.
I feel like if there's ever a point to do this,
now is your shot.
now is the shot. And this is for the brothers up north. You should rate this podcast a 5-star just based off of what I'm about to say. Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block.
Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo, Selena. Enough. Money Train. You know, if you have my love, I'm real. J-Lo. If I can go to dinner with anybody, man, be J-Lo. Shout out. Now, this is dinner with no expectations, nothing crazy.
Right, come on, y'all. Stop doing that. Stop.
Right.
Stop.
Y'all, come on, man. Y'all do too much.
Grow up, man.
Grow up. You hear me? Like, listen. You telling me I got the opportunity to go to dinner with two? Like my old lady, she gonna be there. I might not ever see J-Lo. Like, even if the dinner lasts 5 minutes, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to dinner with J-Lo, man. She probably have to pay. It's just the facts. And again, she got A-Rod. Shout out to her. Like it. But yeah, I'm taking that dinner. A-Rod can come to the dinner. I'm not tripping.
Just don't talk.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just, as soon as he gets to sleep, yeah, man. Okay. Relax. Hold on. Got a little too much dip on your chip now. Hold on. Relax. I ain't here to get your girl. I'm just here to be in the presence. That's it. So yeah, J-Lo and Muhammad Ali. That's who I'm going to dinner with. So shout out to the brothers up north. If you don't give us a 5-star after keeping it all the way G, I don't want you listening to this podcast. These are facts.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. So last episode we got into family, what family means. This episode I want to get into the next level below, which would probably be friendship. If we say, you could have best friendships, associates. First off, what is a friend? What's the definition of a friend to you? To y'all? Who kicked it off last time? Was it you, Moses?
I think Moses
yeah.
So
Okay.
I kick it off. I think it's tough, but go black and white. I think the definition of a friendship is two people who share similar interests.
Mm-hmm.
I think two people who can relate on certain things, whether it's sports, politics, food, movies, cars, whatever. I think it's just two people who can find a similar interest in things and build off that.
Got you. Friend. What is a friend? That somebody you can build similar interests with. Somebody that you can, have a common conversation with. A friend is somebody that you don't mind letting into your circle. For me. And this is where the friend and family conversation becomes a little gray. I like that where I put it in black and white. It becomes a little gray with me, because you might not be family, but you there. You there. You somebody I can call on at the drop of a dime, and you don't have any expectations of what it is and what it ain't. If you're able to, you do. If I'm able to confide in you about certain things that I can't confide into somebody I'm just associated with, you're my friend. you might not get all the intimate details that a family member might get, but you're my dog, so you know we can talk I can be vulnerable in some form or fashion, right? That's what a friend is to me. But to simplify it, I love Rob's definition. It's just, you know, somebody you cool with, somebody you kick it with, chop it up with, skate with. Shout out to T.I. You know, I kick it with you, chop with you, you know, skate with you. So yeah, but you know, in the Raheem definition, that's a friend. You know, somebody that's I'm not completely vulnerable with, but somebody that I can share different details with, and I put a certain level of trust with. Somebody I kick it with outside of my immediate core group of people, or you know, just family gatherings. Like me and Rob started out as friends. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually became family. But you know, we started out as just, you know, let's go kick it here, let's go do this, let's go do that, and eventually building trust and getting to a space was like, nah, this my guy. But you know, friends are just kind of the next level down. How do you define a friend?
I feel like I define a friend by the relationship that you guys have, because I feel like to be my friend, you gotta be. We always got I see each other weekly, and like you were saying, like there's a level of trust and in that relationship, and I also feel like if you can be yourself around them, that's another big thing.
Yeah,
because
that's good, bro.
Because there's some friends or some I have some friends that I just say, hey, what's up? Like whenever. Like those people that are friends of friends, like you don't talk to them, but when you see them, you're like, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. But then there's some friends that you have a constant communication every day, and you guys can talk about whenever. Like if you feeling some type of way, I'm gonna show up. Like that's a friend, and you guys are always hanging out. And sometimes you can just be vulnerable with them, like you said. But yeah, friends I feel I'm kind of not selective or anything, but it's to say that you're my friend. It's not very easy.
Cause you be outside, bro.
Yeah,
you be outside.
Yeah.
So that was why I was real interested in seeing what your definition of a friend was.
Yeah,
you really be outside.
Yeah, I mean I know a lot of people, but
you be kicking it.
Yeah, but there's a very few friends that I see weekly, and we thrive on each other, and you know we both build each other up. It's not like I'm bringing them down or sucking their I guess their energy out of them. You know, it's it's mutual.
And to add on to that, also what a friend is for me is somebody that I don't have to talk to every day. You know what I mean? Like if I do this podcast, but I'm mostly known as an introverted person, and so even in these types of settings, or just I don't feel like a real friend has to, we don't gotta go back and forth every single day. You know what I mean? It just let it be as organic as possible. If you got something funny you want to shoot me, cool. You know, if we talk for 3 days or we don't talk for 5 months, but we see each other and the love is still there because life just goes the way it goes. You know, I feel like a friend should be able to pick up where you left off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like when you have that kind of relationship with them and you see them, you don't feel like nothing's changed. Right. That's something you should go for.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people I haven't seen him in 6 months, man. We probably not cool like that no more. It's did something happen? Yeah. Did he tell y'all wasn't cool? Nah. So why you feel like y'all not friends? Oh, because y'all don't talk, or y'all don't kick it like that anymore. And it's again, like you said last episode, you find out who's here for fun and who's here to build. So that's a good point. How important is the support of your friends for y'all? How important do y'all put the support of the people that y'all call friends?
I think it's very important because from my view of life, family doesn't support as much as you may want them to. You know, their support may not be monetary. It may be, words of encouragement, if anything. So I feel like
And it's conditional.
And it's conditional. It's like, you know, I'm your family, so I support you as a person, not as you're an entrepreneur, you know, whatever it is you may do. So
Right.
I think it's very important because I think friends is the closest thing you have to like somebody that you care about outside of family. So
Right.
if your family, because like a lot of people have broken families and broken homes, so
Yeah.
friends are a lot of people's escape and go to and encouragement and you know push to be great. So I think support from friends is very important because it just shows you that somebody cares about you, if not your family, you know, or in addition to family, because it also means a lot when your friends support you on top of your family as well. So I think it's pretty important. I don't think you should put expectations on them
Yeah.
because a lot of that is unspoken and you'll get hurt by it. But I think it's pretty important to have.
I feel like, yeah, getting support from friends could mean a lot to you, especially, you know, saying some words of encouragement from like a stranger. You probably feel like, oh, okay, cool. But whenever it's someone you love and someone you, I guess, you look up to, someone that you always around, like, it's different to hear words of encouragement from your dad than like a friend you just know. But I guess the people that you surround yourself, the ones you're closest with, getting support just means a lot.
Expound on that for a quick second. Why do you think it's just as important, or if not more important, that you hear words of encouragement from a friend just as well as you hear it from a parent? Like, why do you feel like that is?
Because I feel like, oh man, how would I say this? Like, from a parent, it's someone. I feel like from a lot of people, like in their positions, like a lot of people want approval from their parents, or they just want to feel loved. I mean, I'm just saying, like, just in general, like people want to feel like because like there's a lot of things that parents will put like expectations on their kids, like go to this college, whatever. And I always hear people with like, oh man, I just want to hear my dad say I'm proud.
Yeah,
it's different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just
maybe and maybe because you kind of expect that from a parent. It's like, you know, when you getting approval from your parents, it's like, especially depending on the type of parent you have, it's like you can say, "Mom, I'm going, you know, paratrooping off of the Eiffel Tower," and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know if that's the safest thing." Well, I'm wearing a parachute. Okay, well, cool, go do your thing. Like, just because it's your parent, like, they gonna show kind of an unbiased support to you on a lot of things that you do, depending on the type of parents you have. But when a friend, like, when you're looking at a friend, it's like, I ain't grow up with you, I ain't raise you, so
yeah.
I can easily listen or not listen to your song and go about my day. So when you get it from a friend, it's like, oh, nah, you like really rocking with what I'm doing. Versus a parent that just, you might feel like, well, yeah, they gotta say that, they mom, they dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, when you said that, that's what I was more or less thinking of. Like, yeah, that is true, because when you hear from a parent, it's like, you know, I mean, you expect your parents to be honest, but then you like, it is that parent bias. When you get it from a peer, it's like, especially in the competitive world that we in, if you get like validation from a peer, it's like, oh, okay, I'm doing something.
Yeah, someone like you look up to, you respect.
Yeah, and important, and the support of friends for me personally is it's important. I keep the list of people's opinions that actually matter very short, so it's really like a hand and a half full of people whose opinions I actually care about, whose respect I actually care about having. But nonetheless, like, it is important. You know, it's not to downplay how important it is. Like, the people, you know, friends that you know, whether they're just friends or friends you know, that are like family, either or, that they in support of, you know, what I'm doing, because these are the same people I expect to be honest with me. Like, if I'm bugging out, if I'm tripping, or if it's just not my lane, be able to tell me like, yo, this is not. Maybe we can do something else. So yeah, the support of friends is definitely important for me. Now, speaking on the support of friends, if your friend does not, or all right, if your friend does not buy or like support a product or something that you're doing, like Rob said, monetary, are they really your friend? Or does your friendship how do you leverage your friendship with the amount of support that they give for what you're doing? Like, does it, like, whether they do or don't support what you're doing, does that affect how you look at them as a friend?
I feel like, yeah. I feel like that would show the true colors. I feel like, so I mean, you expect your friends to support you no matter what, even doing something dumb or something they completely don't agree with.
Yeah.
I feel like for them to show support, it's another way of showing their love. And if they like say, "Nah, bro, like I'm not really with that." I mean, unless it's like something really, really dumb, like it's something that they completely disagree or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I understand, but
so if you put out a T-shirt line and your friend never buys a T-shirt, are they really your friend?
I mean, I mean, it depends, you know.
Okay.
So I would say, I don't know, probably. I mean, I really don't.
Rob,
Yeah.
you put out a shirt. If your people don't buy it, are they really your people?
It depends on the friend, because there's levels to friendship.
Okay.
So to make it black and white, if it's a friend who I value, if they don't buy it, it means something. But at the same time, if they aren't spending money, but they're, like you said previously, in the green room with me on the project, if they're giving suggestions, if they're helping me with the vision, like if they're doing other things that's not monetary, then it doesn't matter if they're not buying it, because they're building relational equity in that, like they're helping me with the vision. But if they're not helping me with anything and they're not at least buying it to support, then you can't necessarily say that they're a friend. Like they are there, just not the friend that you thought, or the friend that you may have wanted them to be. Just like we said previously in the last episode, it's like they're the fun friend and they're not the friend that you may want them to be. So it's iffy. I don't feel like there's a right answer, but
Yeah.
I think it's personable as well, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. There's no right answer.
Yeah.
You have something else to add?
No, I would agree. It's just I guess it just depends on the friend.
Yeah. And I've had to take that into account, especially like with the pod. So, and wanting to turn this into like a full media company. Before even starting this, I put it in my mind that I'm not going to judge or leverage. I'm not going to be too harsh on my judgment of a friendship based off if they listen to the podcast or not. Because prior to me starting this, a lot of people didn't even know what podcasts were.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't even know that you had the Apple Podcast app on your phone. Like that was the majority of the first year starting this. It's where do I go to get it, right? And so, giving grace in that area. And so mentally, just knowing that everybody shows the same level of support out the gate. It's over time that you really find who's supporting what you're doing or not, knowing that it's more of the long game than short. Because, you know, if somebody, everybody going to get supported like in the first week because they see everybody else supporting it. It's the hype. You know, who sticks around is actually, you know. So with the podcast, I've told many of people, like, yo, yeah, man, you know, I know you're doing it. I haven't listened in a while. Like, you know, I was like, don't say it's my bad to me. Like, we good. I mean, there's a lot of people I know that love me that don't listen. Majority of the people that listen to the podcast aren't people that know us personally. Yeah. And I don't take offense to that because it's just like regular rap artists who got to go out of town
to get support.
To come back. It's sad that it's like that, right? But you know, it is what it is. So I don't, like Rob said, you would have to be adding something to my life outside of what I'm doing to make me feel like there's genuine support there, to make me feel like if you don't support the pod and you don't add anything else to what I got going on, bro, you're not my friend, bro. Right? Now, if you do support the pod and you don't add anything outside of that, I would still consider you a friend. You support what I'm doing. But if you don't do either or, it's like, what you doing here? We ain't gang. We ain't cool like that. You don't listen to the pod. We don't talk outside. You know, it's a hi and bye when I see you. We're not friends. But for the friends that I do have, like I got a friend, he said, bro, I'm going to keep it real. I've subscribed. I've not listened to one episode. Right? But every time we upload a new episode, that download hit. That download means something. Whether you listen to it or not, and make sure you go subscribe because those downloads mean something. Whether you subscribe or not, cool. Rob just subscribed to the YouTube.
Just subscribed.
And he's on the podcast.
On the podcast. I went to it on YouTube, and I'm like, why does it say subscribe? That's crazy.
Yeah, so... But he adds directly to what I'm doing, and so yes, that's support. You know, people who have given, like, that's support. So I don't judge it too harshly against like who's a friend and who's not based off of what you support, based off of your support of this podcast. But like Rob said, what else are you adding outside of what I'm doing? If you just don't add anything at all, then not, you know, and let that be a word to the wise for a lot of y'all. You know, a lot of us get in a space where we just keep people around just for the sake of having people around.
So, real quick question for you.
Yeah.
So, would you consider this support from a friend if they don't listen to it, don't subscribe, but they'll repost something about it, or they'll post it on the socials? Because you know, a lot of people, they'll go to the socials thinking that's
a good question, dog.
Thinking that that's the hierarchy of support.
That's a
because
good
I'm
question.
showing people something else. So would you consider that support, even though that they're just posting it just to, you know?
Support, yeah, I would consider that support. Are they my friend? Because again, a lot of people repost and not actually. So when we did the thing with Town Talk, a bunch of people reposted it.
Yeah,
I doubt most of those people actually watched it.
Yeah,
and listened to it. And again, it's like you telling somebody how you want to be loved.
Yeah.
Again, my dog who subscribes but don't listen, hey, those downloads mean something. Spotify, Apple, they don't know that. They just gonna count the download. They ain't taking into account if the person like really listened or not. Is download is a download. So if I'm telling you, yo, a repost is cool, but this is where it actually counts, and you still decide to, well, nah, reposting is, I mean, it's support, but if I'm telling you how to love me how I'm telling you to love me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But that's a great question, bro. Like, it does still count as support. It's just, you know, if you my dog, go ahead and hit the subscribe, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do what directly affects. It's like, you know, you got a project coming up, and I just put it out to the world that you got a project coming up. Like, that's it. It's like, yo, Atlas Media got a project coming up. I just reposted it, but you know, you needed me to go watch the YouTube video. That is more of a thing than me just reposting something on the story. Like, you actually needed me to go tune in and watch the YouTube video. I don't care if I gotta go tune in and watch and just put the YouTube on the TV while I'm doing something else.
Yeah. That
stuff counts. You know what I mean? So now y'all know. So now I don't want to hear, yeah, man, I be repost. No, you know, I appreciate y'all reposts. I love y'all reposts. I appreciate it. And y'all gotta start tagging us in these reposts, because we don't see it. Like, I'll be just on somebody's random story and saw that they reposted something we did. So it's like on Instagram, you got to actually tag, like, the person in the repost. You heard? So I appreciate the repost. I appreciate the love. Love me how we asking to be loved. Go hit that subscribe. Do that for the kid. Rob, you had something?
No.
Right. So that's a great question, bro. Now, so with that, we talking about friends, supporting friends. I'm going to just throw a random question out there that wasn't in the pre-pro chat. Why? Because I get a sense of competition.
For sure.
Right? When you have a field that is not really niche, but everybody's finding their way to be a part of something. And this goes back to the friends and family thing. And support can look a bunch of different ways. When I was first starting this, I had a bunch of people that was thinking about starting podcasts come to me. And I'm like, yo, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Right? But they just wanted to learn the basics. They wanted to learn what was going on. And I found myself recently being less amped to give game. Because I'm focused on what we got going on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'll still repost people's stuff. I'll still show love. The random podcasts that these people I ain't never met. Podcasts that are hit. But I found myself less amped to give game. And, some may say that operates from a competitive standpoint. It's like, nah, I'm not competing with anybody, but, everybody's wrapped up in what they're doing. Everybody's wrapped up in the who they clicking up with. Everybody's focused on what they got going on with their people, and it's like I feel like the more you try to give out, the more people take and don't give back. You just draining yourself. So I'm asking y'all, how do you balance supporting somebody that's in the same field as you without making it a competition?
How do you support somebody in the same field without making it a competition?
Right.
I think supporting them makes it not a competition.
Okay.
Because a competition to me is like, I'm not going to support you because you may progress before me, or you may go to where I want to go, or you may get the looks that I want to get. But if I'm supporting you in your ventures, I feel like that's just a humbling way to alleviate the opportunity for it to be competitive, because it's like I'm not trying to get into the way of your success because we're doing something similar. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna do what I can to help you, and speaking from a believer standpoint, it's like rejoice with those who rejoice, Mm-hmm. So I'm doing my part in trying to help you benefit. So I think that's how you stop it from being competitive in my eyes.
Okay. Now let me pose this. Should you be obligated to, because I was just talking about giving game, should you be obligated to give game to somebody that you might consider a friend in the same field as you? Because we friends and we doing the same thing similarly, does that mean I have does it make me a bad friend if I do not give you game on this particular thing when we're doing the same thing?
No, I don't think it makes you no.
Because that's a struggle that it ain't really a struggle, I ain't gonna cap. But in the beginning, people that I would call friends that was thinking about doing it, I would feel like I was doing my disservice as a friend not to share what I know and what I don't know, and just different startup, tools. But now I'm just more apologetic about, just because we cool and we thinking about doing the same thing doesn't mean I gotta give you this master class of what I do and don't know. Mm-hmm. Right? And I was talking to somebody and I was like, does that make me a bad friend? Because we both trying to do the same thing, or we both thinking about doing the same thing, and I'm not amped to just be like, yo, so you can do boom, 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 X, Y, and Z. And this person was like, and this person says, it was like, nah, I don't make you a bad friend. It's cool because I don't feel like a bad friend if I don't.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, I feel like you should, if you show support, it's not really competition, like just exactly what Rob said. Mm-hmm. I feel like it would be competition if you hide all your secrets or your tips, you don't show anything, you're very closed off. I feel like that would be a competition and you guys would be competing against each other, I guess. So
do you feel like, so going to the second question, do you feel like if we friends and you are trying to do the same thing similar to me, should because we're friends, should I give you game?
If you want to, I would say if you want to.
But if I don't, does that make me a bad friend?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if other than what we got going on, if we still like talking, hanging out, friends, I mean, you my friend. But if it's just that in that aspect, then I mean, I'm not gonna get like offended or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a bad person or a bad friend. But at the same time, Jordan didn't show Kobe everything.
Right.
You know,
right.
Mr. Miyagi never showed Danielson everything.
Right.
So, you know, like, I think there's still ways to find a balance of sharing something, but not everything.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, that like you can't be their teacher.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Like they're gonna have to learn stuff on their own.
Right.
So, nah, I don't think, like, if y'all have relational equity outside of that, no, I don't think that's a bad thing. But if y'all friendship is based on that one thing, well, I mean, regardless, I don't think it makes you a bad friend, honestly. So,
I respect that. And I would probably say the same thing, man. Like, again, because I had to learn to a certain extent, and there's something about learning in the process, you know, on the job training.
yeah.
You know, taking your own bumps and bruises along the way. And I equate it to if I was doing music, I would always say, like, if I ever decide to do music, I can't depend on P to just lay out the red carpet for me. You got to put in your own work. And when you put in your own work, that makes your friends amped to want to give you more gems because they know you're serious about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the only reason people even ask me tips or tools of the trade as far as producing a podcast is because they've seen how serious I am about it. And I found a lot of people that I know wouldn't make it past 5 episodes. So, like, I just keep it G at all times. Like, hey, man, you know, you can. I don't really think that's your thing. So I don't want to waste too much time. Because I've done that. I've just went down this boatload of things that might be suggestions, and it don't even happen. I just wasted my time and wasted your time. We could have just kept playing 2K, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that, you know, I'm still learning myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, it's not one of those things. It's just one of those things like, yo, nobody was there to really. And then the information is out there, particularly with podcasts. I told Moses, there's 2.5 million podcasts out there. Most of them don't make it past 7 episodes. But the fact that there's 2.5 million podcasts out there, the information is out there. Type into YouTube how to start a podcast. 80 channels going to come up trying to tell you how to do that. You know what I mean? So don't make your people feel obligated to help you, and don't make them feel like bad people because they're not jumping out. They're not jumping out the window to put you on when they still trying to get on themselves. I would agree with you. I don't feel like that makes people bad friends. And again, if you get a listen, if you get a like, whatever type of support that you need, let them know how you let a person know how they can support you best. But don't ever put expectations on a person to bail you out or to, you know, circumvent the process that you personally got to go through to, you know, learn what you need to learn in the craft that you say you're passionate about. Because at the end of the day, whether I tell you something or not, if you want to know about it bad enough, or you want to learn or get better at it, or get good at it enough, you forget what I got to share with you, what the Pope got to share with you, with if you in music with Quincy Jones, you gonna learn.
Yeah, that passion gonna drive you.
Exactly. So last question before we get out of here: how do you know when a friendship has dissolved? And I'll kick it off. Yeah. How do I know when a friendship's dissolved? I'll be real. The clearest answer I can give is just when the bond just isn't there anymore. Because I don't want to put time in place, because again, I feel like real friends can go months without speaking and reconnect and be just that, friends again. I don't want to put space in there because, you know, whether I'm here or in China, if you my dog, you my dog. I think circumstance, evolution in life, you know, if I've grown to this space in life and you still are doing things that we was doing 6 years ago, obviously the friendship isn't the same. I think evolution and just circumstance can dictate whether a friendship is dissolved or whether it's still a friendship. Like, if I've grown to a certain space or my focus is different and your focus is different, if we just going in two separate paths, then like we not cool like that. You know what I mean? Or if the bond just isn't there. It's like, if we, like Rob said, if we not connected outside of mutual things, like if I'm always seeing you at a sporting event or I'm always seeing you at church, or I'm only cool with you because of the people, like we cool with the same people, so I'm only cool with you because I'm cool with them. I'm not cool with them, so I don't get to see you as much. Then obviously, you know, it's like we not friends like that. You know what I mean? So it's I feel like those are some of the keys when you know like a friendship has dissolved, or like if you constantly butting heads because y'all in just two different spaces in life. Like, I don't argue with really none of my dogs. I done had arguments with P, but we done probably had 3 arguments in the span of our friendship as far as like serious. I've never argued with Rob. It just hasn't happened. And so for me, it's like, even if I'm like constantly butting heads with another man in general, bro, we're not friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? So those are just a couple of ways. How about y'all?
I feel like if you guys are both moving on to different paths in life, I feel like you guys just can't relate no more and have that bond. Because I have a couple of friends that I'm like, okay, like I'm like legitimately like, okay, I need to tell them like, hey, like I don't want to be friends anymore.
You had those conversations?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've had. Like,
you a friendly dude.
I had 2 last year to these females, but I said, but what I'm saying is there are some friends like they're just not good for, I guess, for your future, and that you just gotta move on.
Babyface killer.
That was exactly about to be my words, babyface killer. So not to get too much into your business, Rob.
Why'd you tell the women you don't be friends with her?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's like? I'm just what was just a couple of contributing general factors as to why you had to dissolve those friendships.
I always, if they're not helping me for purpose, or if they're like not helping me to become a better me, then I just feel like we don't have like a bond, or we won't relate, or we don't hang out and go do these things together. Then I just feel like we shouldn't be friends, or like we're just going out doing bad stuff. Or if you
what is bad stuff?
no, my God.
Smoking crack? Like, what is hold on, Moses, man. All right, listen to me. I don't know, man. You a babyface killer for real. So it wasn't nothing because they liked you and you ain't like them back and nothing like that.
Yeah. Well,
nigga, say that then.
No, not like that. Well, I mean, like we were cool as friends, but I'm like, nah, like I just. Nah, I'll be real blunt. Like I just feel like I'm wasting my time, you know.
But feelings got involved.
What do you mean like that?
Like they liked you.
Well, yeah, I mean they did, but But
So that's different, bro. Like I'm talking about your homies, man.
yeah.
Like your homies.
Well,
like,
I mean, like,
dog, you not my guy anymore, bro. We not cool like that anymore. Like the female thing, bro. That's easy. That's easy to understand why you wouldn't be, because that's just the female, male. We buddy, we brother, we sister. That's a very, very.
all right. Let me just move on.
Have you ever had to tell one of your homeboys, more specifically, that y'all was not cool anymore? The female thing is easy.
Homeboys. I mean, I'm cool with all my homeboys, but I have a homegirl that I've been friends with like 8th grade.
Okay.
But I just feel like she's known the old me for so long, and since recently I've changed it to a new me.
Right.
I feel like every time I'm like around her, like her friends, I'm just like, this ain't me no more.
But she wasn't somebody that you liked.
No. This is just
she ain't like you.
No.
Okay.
This is just something that's just like we just always
had like really bro and sis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
That line be getting.
No.
That line be flirty.
No.
It's a flirty line, right?
Being visible.
How do you know when a friendship has been dissolved, or how do you know a friendship is over? Pretty much.
I think I agree with one of your points. Like if y'all continually butting heads, continually arguing, continually on opposing sides of something. I feel like that's one factor. And then for me, like all my friendships I've never tried, and initially they've always just happened. From you to Paris to even my wife, like we became friends just out of nowhere, and it just progressed in its own. But I think one of the most obvious ways, especially nowadays, because conversations just are less and less of a thing. I feel like, well, face-to-face conversations, I would say, but I feel like the most obvious way you can tell is when the communication gap continues to grow.
Gotcha.
So if it goes from, y'all talk every other day, cool, then y'all talk every other week, every other month, and then, if that gap continues to widen, then at that point, like, it's just naturally, like, it's naturally dissolving in itself.
Yeah.
And most people don't aren't aware of that.
Yeah, don't want to accept
or they
it.
don't want to accept it, or they don't want to pay attention to it. But it's like that's the biggest thing. Like if y'all don't talk that much, it's like it's okay. Like it's just not. The friendship isn't the same. It's naturally dissolving. Or it's like y'all don't talk, but y'all see each other, and y'all always do the same. Like, hey man, like we should hang out. You got the same number. Like,
never
if y'all always do that, then like the friendship's not there. Like it's like y'all just associates. So I see each other and it's love, which is cool. But that friendship is no longer needed in the season for either one of y'all.
Yeah, and that's good. And there's also cases where maybe that friendship was needed, but you wasn't in a space where you can cultivate it, or in a space where you can even receive that friendship. Because a friend also gonna tell you the truth. Like, nah, dog. Like that's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew Rob. I knew this prior, but I knew he was, like, really my brother when he was like, yeah, you was kind of a dick in that situation. Like, he told me that verbatim. He was like, yeah, you were a dick in that situation. But, I was like, wait, did you just tell me I was wrong? I loved it, because it was like, all right. He ain't lie to me. I can't ever look Rob and say, yeah, but you no, bro, you was being an a-hole in that situation. Yeah. And he told me that. He's like, yeah, you a bit of a-hole in that situation, but you can work on that. That's friendship. And so you might need that and might not be in a space to want to receive that.
Right.
You just want somebody that's going to tell you,
yes.
Yeah, like, yeah, nah, bro, you was right. You know what I mean? And you got some friends that'll get that to you. Yeah. To them, you just all Captain Right. For them, support might look like, nah, tell you right. Because if I tell you wrong, then you might look at that as, you're not supporting me. Because you got some people that's like that. Like, anything that you tell them wrong, it's like, oh, you don't support me. They caught up in their own web. So, we also had a case where a lot of times we might need a friendship in a certain situation or a certain season, but we're not in a position mentally, in a space of maturity where we can receive that friendship. And this brings me to the scripture of the pod. Scripture of the pod is Proverbs 17:17. This is by King Solomon, known as one of the wisest men, if not the wisest man who walked the planet of the earth. He said, "A friend loves at all time, and a brother is born for adversity." So just going back, and that pretty much sums up the last 2 episodes. A friend is it loves at all times. So I love you, even if I don't agree with you, and I don't really support everything that you're doing. I love you. The love is still there, and a brother is born for adversity. So your friends are going to love you at all times. Your family is going to be there in the mud with you, helping get you out. You know what I mean? Like they're going to make certain sacrifices to see to it that you get back to where you got to go. And so I think that sums up the last two episodes. Any final words on friendship or advice? Or?
I feel like stick to people who help you grow in purpose. Yeah.
I think Moses said it actually a few episodes ago, but be the friend you want. So
I rocks with it.
Doing that,
Moses getting quoted.
Doing that will most likely eliminate, all your issues.
Moses with the heavy quotes. My dog went back and said, "Nah, Moses said this." Shout out to Moses, man. And my final word would be, man, I love how Steven Jackson said, man, I love those who love us. At the end of the day, these past 2 episodes, it just goes back to a sense of how I feel about family and friends, and just what this year has taught me. It's okay to love and to focus on those who love and focus on you.
Yeah.
I'm only really concerned. I love everybody, and because God is love, and if you don't love, you don't know God. I do believe that, and I believe everybody deserves a certain level of respect and love thrown their way. But for me, in this season of life, as I'm trying to build myself, my priority is, in any form or fashion, to be mentally and emotionally available for those that are available for me. That's whether that's my brother Rob, his family, P, my little brother, moms, just my core people. Like being, and don't get me wrong, that's not saying that I'm doing anything actively to like help them build, but reserving energy emotionally, mentally, and spiritually where I can cater to them. That's where my focus is right now, and that's what this year has taught me, because everybody else is doing the same. So you shouldn't feel bad for catering to the people that cater to you. I'm only focused on building the people that's around me, building myself so that I can further help build the people around me. At some point in time, I want to see Atlas Media get off the floor. I want to see Reach Over Culture get off the floor. I want my little brother to be good. He's the news is out there now, so I can say he's about to, we about to bring a niece, a nephew into the world. I want to make sure he's straight for that. I want to make sure my mammy's straight in the future. I'm only focused on the people that's focused on helping me. The people that's kept me in the loop this year, the people that's helped me, that's kept me in part of their important events and stuff. Like, I love those who love us, who love me, and that's my main focus. And that would be my final word to you. Do not be afraid to focus on the people that focus on you. It's okay. You can love everybody, but love those who love you the same. Be the friend you want to be.
And in the words of the great Ray J, be who you want to be, love who you want to love.
Oh man, we're saying it like that. We're saying, you heard. So this is another episode of Reach Over Culture Podcast. Listen, make sure you hit the subscribe on YouTube, man. If you made it this far into the podcast audio platform, make sure you subscribe, download the episode, click the listen, give us a like. To donate, Cash App at Reach Over Culture, $ Reach Over Culture. Thank you, my brothers. Another successful day of recording. Yes, and peace and love and blessings to all. This is the Reach Over Culture Podcast, and we out.